students, I am Krishna Kanjani from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the online lecture series on kinematics and theory of machine. In this session, we will learn inversion of single slider mechanism. Okay, so in this session, we will learn what is inversion of mechanism and then we will study inversion of single slider mechanism. So let's start with first single slider mechanism. So any mechanism which is containing one sliding pair can be termed as a single slider mechanism. So over here in this mechanism we will be having four kinematic links. Over here you can refer the first one, that is your fixation, that is frame, link number 2 crank, link number 3 connecting rod, and fourth one, that is your slider. Now over here you can refer that the piston is reciprocating inside this cylinder and rest of all the three components, that is link number 1 and 2, 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. Okay, these all the pairs are making turning pair and this link number 4 is connected with link number 1 as a sliding pair. So in this mechanism we will be having 3 turning pair and 1 sliding pair. Okay, so now first of all, inversion of mechanism. So if we will fix one link of a kinematic chain, that will give us one mechanism. So the process of obtaining different mechanism by fixing different links of a kinematic chain is known as an inversion of mechanism. So we will study 5 inversions of single slider mechanism, that is pendulum pump, rotary IC engine, oscillating cylinder, crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism, and Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. Okay, so first two, that is pendulum pump and rotary IC engine, that we have studied in our last session. So in this session we will learn about the rest of the 3 inversions. Third inversion of single slider mechanism, that is oscillating cylinder engine. Now over here, as the name indicates, that oscillating cylinder. So in this mechanism we will not fix our cylinder and the cylinder can move and produce oscillating motion. Okay, so that's why it is termed as a oscillating cylinder engine. Now how we can produce this? So let's first identify 4 links of this kinematic chain. So the first one, that is your piston rod. Okay, now this piston rod will be reciprocating inside this cylinder. Now link number 2, that is your crank, which will be producing a complete rotation. Link number 3, that is your connecting rod. Now over here in this mechanism we have fixed this connecting rod, and the fourth kinematic link, that is your cylinder. Now how it will work? Now as we will give input to this crank component, your crank rotation will produce reciprocation of your piston rod inside this cylinder, and parallelly your cylinder will be oscillating. Now how it is possible? Then let's refer this diagram. Okay, so in this diagram you can refer that as we are giving input to this crank component, now this rotation of your crank component is producing piston rod's reciprocation, and parallelly this reciprocation is producing oscillation of this cylinder. Okay, so now in this mechanism we have fixed our connecting rod, and that's why this fixation of connecting rod is causing oscillation of cylinder, and that's why it is termed as a oscillating cylinder engine. Now how we can identify different kinematic pairs? Okay, so let's make a list of turning and sliding pair in this mechanism. So the first turning pair, that is your link number 2 and link number 1. Over here you can refer that your piston rod and your crank. Now your crank is rotating and this rotating crank is producing oscillation or reciprocation of this piston rod. So with respect to link number 2, your link number 1 is turning. So that is your turning pair number 1. Now in next one, that is your link number 1 is connected with link number 3. Now over here with respect to this fixation, your crank is rotating or turning. So that is your combination of link number 3 and link number 2 will produce second turning pair. Now your link number 3 and your cylinder, because with respect to this fixation your cylinder is oscillating, or we can say turning. Okay, so that will form third turning pair of this mechanism, and the sliding pair, that is again the piston and cylinder assembly. Okay, so the piston is reciprocating inside this cylinder, so which is producing a sliding pair. So in this way we can mention that in this oscillating cylinder engine we can make list of 3 turning pair and 1 sliding pair. Okay, now let's learn fourth inversion of single slider mechanism and the most important inversion, that is crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism. Okay, Now, as the name indicates, first let's refer the names. Okay, so over here crank and slotted lever. So in this mechanism, we will have one crank component and one lever component which is slotted. Okay, and this mechanism will produce quick return motion mechanism. Okay, now let's first identify number of links in this mechanism. So over here, this one number is indicating your link number 1. Now this link number 1 is your fixation. Now with respect to this fixation, your link number 2, that is your crank component, which is producing complete rotation. Okay, so now as you will give input to this link number 2, it will rotate in this direction, and this rotation will produce with respect to link number 1. Okay, now this at the end of this link number 2, that is at the end of this crank component, we are considering the third number of link, which is your slider. Okay, now as you can refer this slider component, okay, this slider is placed in such a way that it is at the end of link number 2 and it is inside your link number 4. Okay, so now your link number 4 is your slotted lever. Now this lever is oscillating with respect to this fixed point O4. Okay, so now as you can refer that with respect to this fixation, this lever will be oscillating. Now we can refer working of this mechanism in this way. Like if you will give input to your crank rotation, then this crank rotation will produce oscillation of your this lever component. Okay, so that is your link number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now at the end of this link number 4, we are connecting one rod which is connected with your cutting tool. Now as you can refer, the rotation of this crank component is producing reciprocating motion of this block. Now you can refer in this block that the forward motion of your block is slightly slower than your return motion. So let's refer that how we can produce this type of motion, that is quick return motion. Okay, so to understand that, we have to learn this diagram in detail. So let's identify various components. Okay, so your first component, that let's consider this slider as your link number 1. Now this at the end of your slider, you are connected with your crank component. Okay, that is your link number 2. This crank is connected with your fixation body. This fixation, that is your link number 3, and this link number 3 is containing link number 4, that is your slotted bar. Okay, so now let's refer first how it will work. With respect to this fixation, your crank will be rotating, and this rotation of crank will give you extreme positions at B1 and B2 position. Okay, now these extreme positions can be obtained by taking tangent of this circle from this fixed point. Okay, so that will give you the extreme position of your slotted lever. Okay, so first extreme position, that is at B1 point and P1 point of your slotted lever, and similarly on a second side it will give us B2 point and P2 point on our right hand side. Okay, so now this P1 to P2 motion will produce forward motion, and P2 P1 motion, that will give us return motion. This will give us the reciprocating motion of ram, which is used in our shaper machine. Okay, so let's refer that how the shaper machine works. So over here you can refer that this rotation of this crank is producing reciprocation. Okay, but now why it is different? Then over here you can refer that your forward motion, which is your first motion, which is cutting motion, while in return your cutting tool will be ideal because it will not remove any material. Okay, so to reduce the timing, we can refer that while the cutting stroke is happening, at that time we have to provide some time because cutting action is going on. But while in return time, your machine tool is not removing any material, so you can reduce that time, and that will help you to reduce the power consumption. So over here, by using this type of mechanism, we can remove material on forward stroke, and while on return stroke, your ideal stroke, in this ideal stroke you will reduce the time, and that will help you to reduce the power consumption as well as to reduce the machining time. Okay, so over here you can refer that this type of mechanism will help you in machining operations. Okay, now let's identify turning and sliding pair in this mechanism. Okay, so over here this link number 3 and link number 2 you can refer with respect to this fixation. So with respect to your fixation, your crank is rotating, that is your link number 3 and 2, which is forming first turning pair. Your link number 2 and link number 1, that will form your second turning pair. Now in third turning pair, your link number 3 and slotted bar, over here you can refer that with respect to this fixation, that is your fixed link number 3, your slotted bar is oscillating, so that is forming first one turning pair. While on a counter side, to list out the sliding pair, over here you can refer that your slider is sliding inside this slotted lever. Okay, over here you can refer that your pin, okay, so this red point can be denoted as a slider. Okay, and this slider is sliding inside this slotted lever, and that will form your sliding pair. Okay, so in this way we can make list of turning and sliding pair in this mechanism. Okay, now to identify the basic function, as you can refer that cutting stroke is a slower and return stroke is a faster. And how we can achieve this? So we can refer this diagram that B1 to B2 motion, which is your cutting stroke, okay, and B2 to B1, which is your return stroke. Okay, so first B1 to B2, that is cutting, that is denoted by beta angle, and your return stroke, that is your alpha angle. So that will give you time of cutting to time of return, that is beta upon alpha. And again, if you want to denote the whole equation in beta, then you can write alpha is equal to 360 minus beta. Okay, so in this way we can also calculate the ratio of cutting time to the return time in this mechanism. Okay, so this is all about crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism. Sometimes in exam they will ask to calculate the ratio of cutting time to return time, so at that time you have to use this equation. Okay, so let's refer the last and fifth inversion of single slider mechanism, that is Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. Now as the name indicates, it is also a quick return motion mechanism. Okay, so in this mechanism we will also achieve that your cutting time will be higher than your return time, and your return time will be faster. Okay, so that's why it is quick return. Now how it is happening over here? So in this mechanism, let's again find out links. Okay, so your link number 2, that is your fixation. Now this link number 2, with respect to this link number 2, your crank is rotating. Now rotation of this crank is producing movement of point A. So we can say the position of A will be achieved A2 and A1 over here. Okay, so this circle will define that how the motion of your crank will happen. Now due to motion of this crank, your slotted lever, over here you can refer this slotted lever inside which your slider is sliding. Okay, so this slotted bar or slotted lever will be also rotating, but the center of your slotted lever is point D. Okay, so now over here with respect to point D, you have to make a circle which is denoting position of your point P, which is defining reciprocation of this ramp. Okay, so now this rotation of point P will produce extreme positions P2 and P1 over here, and that will give you the return to cutting time. Okay, now you can refer the working of this mechanism from this diagram, that as you are giving input to this your crank component, that is your green circle, now this rotation of crank is producing reciprocation of this ramp component. Okay, so this is also a one type of quick return motion mechanism. And if you want to calculate the cutting to return time, so over here the cutting time can be achieved. So to produce this cutting time, you can refer that your position will be moving from A1 to A2. Okay, so this angle A1 to A2 is denoting your alpha angle, and your return angle will be your beta angle, that is from your A2 to A1 position. Okay, so that will give you the ratio, that is time of cutting stroke to time of return stroke, that is your alpha upon beta, and that will be also written as alpha upon 360 minus alpha. Okay, so this is all about fifth inversion Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. In this way we can study 5 inversion of single slider mechanisms. Thank you.